Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today and tuning in. Thank you for the people that are supporting us online. We really appreciate it. Today is a special episode. We are going to be talking about the Journey Thrift and how it supports the Journey Neighborhood Center. So today we have with us the Steve Allen, the one and only.
Thank you.
Yes, he is the executive director of the Journey Neighborhood Center. We also have Juliana Allen. She is the manager over at the Journey Thrift. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey,
Thank you for joining me today.
My
It's
pleasure.
so nice having you guys here.
looking forward to it.
Yeah. And by the way, daughter, father.
Exactly.
You couldn't tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love how you guys said that you're basically the same person.
There's an awful lot of
That's similar,
similar behaviors.
Down to our
and-
handwriting
yeah.
even. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
both illegible. Yeah.
Yeah. Even the vibes, you could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice having you
Yeah.
guys today.
Thank you.
So before we start talking about the Journey Thrift, I would love to know, Steve, how did the Journey Neighborhood start? What is the work that the Journey Neighborhood does here in Brampton?
Oh, well, yeah. So, it is a great story. The Journey Neighborhood Center was really founded by a local church, North Brampton United Church, of which I'm a part, and really a desire to be more engaged in the wider community. We'd had an outreach committee, which I was leading at the time, and our lead minister, Jamie Holtham, who's still our lead minister, this is around 2011, so 10 years ago, was introduced to about a half a dozen areas of Brampton that just, they all needed some TLC, and one of them was Brampton's Ardglen Orenda neighborhood. And it really, really struck Jamie as this is where we need to be. This is a place where our church can make a difference. And so started to get to know the people. The outreach team that I was leading started to engage through the local school, Sir Winston Churchill Public Schools, just up the street from where the Journey Neighborhood Center now exists. And so over about a 2-year period, we ran up some programs at the school and in the local park. I was attending the parent-teacher group, whatever they called it at the time. And I remember one day, one of the parents turned to me and said, "Steve, we're so appreciative of what you and the church are doing here, but are you going to stay? We've had so many groups that come, and they're here for a little while, and they, the kids and the families, they start to get to know and appreciate it and have their hopes up for things to be better, and then they leave." And it was heartbreaking. At the same time, there was a shooting, and there's been a lot of tragedy. Just a few years before this, there had been, to be honest, a lightning strike, and a 5-year-old boy was killed in the local park. So this shooting happened, and it's like, oh my goodness, all these things. We need to be here all the time. We need to move into the neighborhood. And so there's this little plaza on Ardglen Drive. There was a vacant space. It had been a bakery, and it was a mess. The space was a total mess. We had the fire department come in and take a look at it. They said, well, we can tell there were at least 3 fires in this space. Yeah. On the other hand, while it looked disastrous, we also had a structural engineer come in and say, yeah, structurally it's fine. Like, it's just, ripping out a few things, putting up some new walls, patching a hole in the ceiling, because there was water damage, and so on. And so there was a commitment, some funds raised, and a volunteer manager stepped forward who was part of the church and who lived in the neighborhood. And we in November of 2013 opened the Journey Neighborhood Center. So I was on the board, founding board, been part of growing the Journey Neighborhood Center. We actually have a secondary site on Orenda Court, and it's been a real joy to be partners in the community with the neighbors, with the church, with so many other community organizations that care deeply about this neighborhood in the city of Brampton.
That's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing how everything just lined up. There was a vacancy in the plaza. Yeah. Now, here we are. That's amazing. And it's just sick how from the Journey Thrift. Juliana, tell us about that. What is the Journey Thrift? How does it support the Journey Center? What do they sell? What's going on there?
All right, I'll give you all the little details.
Yeah.
So I've been with Journey Thrift since June. It had been in operation for almost a year before then, but because of COVID shutdowns and things, we hadn't really had a full operating schedule. So since then, since I've come on, we've been able to be open. Journey Thrift is a place where we resell gently used clothing, books, household items, and small furniture into the community at really good prices. So we're able to both help people by, giving them a place to bring their gently used goods and then to resell them. The funds that we make off of the purchases our community makes goes directly to the Journey Neighbourhood Center. So really we're just this beautiful, way of recycling and repurposing items that come in. They go to a wonderful new home, hopefully, and then the proceeds are able to come and support the programming that happens here at the Journey Neighbourhood Center.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful system.
Exactly. A system, like a cycle of one thing going there but affecting the Journey Center.
Yeah.
But then people from the Journey Center could also go to the Journey Thrift for things that they need.
Exactly. And what I'm noticing in my time being there is that it is starting to feel like a community in the store. We have a lot of regular people who come in looking not just for items but for the experience of being there. I've connected with people who say, hey, Kevin sent me from the Journey Neighbourhood Center, Jamie Holtum sent me from the church, or I heard about you through this, and they're starting to come and see us as a resource as well, which is fantastic. I know lots of people's customers' names, and we have a beautiful team of over 40 volunteers who support us and help us run the store. And that as well feels like a big community building opportunity, which is really lovely.
That's amazing. Basically doing what the Journey Center is doing here, but in that neighborhood as well.
Yeah, it's like a beautiful extension of that where people are learning about the Journey Neighbourhood Center and supporting it through their purchasing or their volunteering or even their donating. So yeah, it's great.
Wow, that's amazing. So what is next for the Journey Thrift?
So Journey Thrift, again, since I've come on, we've had significant growth, and it's so wonderful that, we're able to now be open consistently. We're moving towards things like bringing on an assistant manager, extending our hours, and just having more and more of a capacity to bring things in and then bring them out into the community. Christmas is coming up, and we are going to be having a bunch of Christmas promotions. We'll have carolers in the store. We'll have some sales going on. We're looking forward to being able to offer events in the evenings and on weekends. This is all stuff that now that, we have a supportive community, we can do more and more and connect more and not just be a place where you buy things, secondhand or at a low price, but where we offer a community.
Yeah. Oh man, that's something that you don't see a lot of. Some places are just a thrift store or just a church or just a center. But the fact that you guys are incorporating every aspect of that, the community, the connection, the provision, I think is amazing.
Yeah.
So how can people support the Journey Thrift?
Well, there's lots of different ways to help, and all of our information for reaching out and getting in touch is all online: Instagram, Facebook, our website. So there's three primary ways they can help. The first is, of course, being a customer. So coming in, finding an item that you love and that you want to rehome, and supporting us by shopping at Journey Thrift. The other way is to donate to us. So if you or someone has items that are in good condition that you think can still be useful, we're happy to take them. We also have things like electronics and metal recycling. We can do textile recycling as well. So even things that maybe aren't sellable, we still can, do something with.
Wow.
And of course, the third way is to volunteer. Like I said, we already have a team of about 40 volunteers, but with growth comes need. And we are always needing, responsible and committed and, excited people to come and join our team.
Yes.
So those are really the three core ways that you can support Journey Thrift and therefore support Journey Neighbourhood Center through us.
Amazing. And by the way, Juliana, you are so well spoken.
Thank you.
You are so well spoken. I'm sure the people at home can say that as well.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes. So closing off, what has been your favorite memory either at the Journey Center or the Journey Thrift so far?
Well, and a story that immediately comes to mind, a few months ago, there was a fire in one of the units in the townhomes here on Ardglen Drive. And a woman and her son and her mother lost everything. And by having the store, we were able to say, come to the store and take anything that you need, literally anything. Wow. And because we have clothing and household items and, tools and, the whole gamut of basics, they were able to get what they need on a moment's notice, really. Yeah. And we had someone from the Ardglen community who helped them, who brought them, transported, items for them. And it's a beautiful way that all this kind of cycle works, where there's so many benefits of having the store connected directly with this community. So that's the one that comes to my mind right away. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
How about you, Juliana?
So as I said, I started at Journey Thrift kind of in June as transitioning in, taking over as manager. And one of the initiatives that I really felt passionate about pushing for was having a big summer sale for us at the end of July. And this was important to me, not just to establish myself as the manager, but to kind of show hey, we're here, get people noticing us. So I think that was July 30th we did it. Yep. And I just remember that day was a beautiful blur of activity. I was shocked. I think we were all shocked at not just how many people were excited to support us and to come in and volunteer extra hours and donate and give us all the stuff to set us up for it, but then the community response that we had on that day and the sort of, the excitement that I felt seeing it be a success and saying, wow, people, they know we're here, they want to be here, not only as customers, but also as volunteers. And that really launched my confidence as far as, okay, Journey Thrift, we can do this, I can do this. Yes. And it propelled me to think, okay, what more can we do? What else can I offer? How else can I build this community? That so far has been a really defining moment for me in my experience.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. You guys, it's only up from here.
Oh, let's hope so.
I want to take a second to acknowledge some people if I can.
Absolutely.
So, we opened during the pandemic.
Yes.
Which in some ways seems ridiculous, but the availability was there, the opportunity was there. And so there was financial support from the Journey Neighbourhood Centre to get it started, which has all been reimbursed, and we're now making we're on the plus side now, making positive financial contributions back to the Journey Neighbourhood Centre. But also we had a crew of people under the leadership of Sandy Rainey, a good friend of ours, that transformed the space, the cleaning and the painting and organizing that happened. And then my wife, Marianne, who was our startup manager, she had been volunteering at the previous thrift store, so she had the experience that we sorely needed to get it running. And she did such a tremendous job in getting it up and running and coping with okay, now we're open and now we're closed. We need new volunteers, all of that stuff, trying to get things established and running. And she did a wonderful job, and now is continuing to volunteer and support Juliana, going forward. And of course, the community members that step forward to volunteer, to donate, just to be a part of making it real. Yes. So. It's more than just us.
It's way more than that.
And just so many people that have been a gift and a blessing in making it a reality.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I love that. I love that you guys took the time to come here and to give us a little bit more detail about the Journey Thrift and how it works alongside the Journey Center. And thank you for that little shout out. That is important.
Absolutely.
It's, it takes a village.
Yeah, so. I think we definitely want to focus on the spirit of collaboration and not just between Journey Thrift and Journey Neighbourhood, but the community at large, right? So again, it's more than just a store.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Love that.
Little tagline for you, right?
Yeah, more than just a store. Yeah.
We will make that happen.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode, and thank you guys for coming on and sharing with us.
It's been
a
fun.
little bit more.
Yeah, thanks,
Do
Rebecca.
this again.
All right.
For sure.
You guys can find this episode on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify. And tune in because we're going to be having more fun episodes like this. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.